Welcome back, everyone, to Issues of Faith. We have with us Father Joseph Breen. Talked about some of your thoughts on immigration in the first segment. In this segment, I want to talk about some letters you have written to all bishops about your thoughts on the Catholic Church. You have serious thoughts that that women should be priests and that priests should be able to marry. How do you come to that? I guess tell us about that.
Well, we cannot deny the fact that our leadership has not been good the last number of years. Leadership in our church. 2 years ago, we had 30 million fallen away Catholics. Now, 2 years later, it's 40 million. With the women being priests, the men able to marry, we will be able to get sufficient numbers. But also what is very important there is we'll be able to really choose quality. We need both. And we need to educate ourselves, and especially more and more people need to call up the bishops, because those 30 and now 40 million, we have really been critical of the gay community. We cannot deny it. And I know these bishops are sincere and good and decent, but I don't think they have spoken to very many gay people, and there's very little contact between the bishop, the priest, and the bishop and the laity. They're just too busy doing other things that many of the places in America, it's very difficult for a lay person to ever make an appointment with the bishop and see him personally.
So that's three things. So you're talking about women priests, married priests, and I guess changing a position on gay
several of
and
those issues.
Right.
And it's 30 to 40 tells you a real serious problem. But we learned from Ireland a little bit over a year ago. They had a national election. Ireland used to be all Catholic. All kinds of seminaries, places where men go to be trained to be priests. So much everything Catholic. They had an election, national, not just among the Catholics, but among all the people in Ireland. And the bishops went to a great effort, advertisement programs, to condemn homosexuality and also same-sex marriage. What did the election show? 70% of the people, and I would say that would be the way it would be in the United States if we had an election, a choice. 70% voted against that bill, and only 30% voted in favor of it.
Now, these are dramatic changes.
Oh, dramatic, and also...
So let's talk about women priests. Do you think there's a chance that could happen?
If the people realize that it's a great need and a necessity. We don't have the quality. We don't have the numbers.
You think there's not enough priests out there?
Oh, there's no ifs and buts about that. That's very plain, very apparent. And we brought in a pretty large number of foreign priests. And we got to be honest about it. They're dedicated, they're knowledgeable, they're holy, very impressive. But somehow many of them, the English language, many of them, you can't understand them. And also the fact they maybe find it hard to create a community. And in many of the communities in our churches, who are responsible for it? Not just Catholic, Presbyterian, others, women. They're the ones that organize, they're the ones that really help create a community.
So women priests and then married priests. This is another dramatic change.
We have a greater choosing of married men We already have a good number of deacons, and there are many of them doing a great job. Put them a little bit more education, my opinion, and it's a pretty good judgment. They would make good priests also.
And you're saying
today, you know, with the scandals, pedophiles, how many mothers are going to encourage their sons to be priests? How many fathers? And that's the attitude we have today, whereas 25, 30 years back when I went into seminary, that's what a mother and a father encouraged their sons to be priests. But now it is too difficult. It really is. And I feel very strongly that, as I said in the letter, I don't think celibacy is very healthy.
So what response have you gotten? You've sent this to all bishops, and including our bishop here in the Nashville Diocese. What response have you gotten?
I think I got 6 responses, and they were very nice. They didn't commit themselves one or the other, but they did what bishops should do. When you send them a letter, or send you a letter, let's say, and it's not mean or obscene, what should you do when you get that letter? Acknowledge me. Thanks, whether you agree or not. Over the years, you know, there's been some people who didn't agree with me. I would always send them a letter back saying, I really appreciate you taking the time to express yourself so well. Let us pray for each other. God bless you, Father Breen.
So
that's a matter of courtesy. We do not get letters back from our bishops, which I have grown up to realize that's a lack of professional courtesy. So I did hear from 5, and I heard from the Archbishop of Louisville, even though he's taken cancer treatments, he has been very outstanding in that regard.
Do you think this is going to happen? How realistic is this? Female priests, married priests?
Well, it depends. If the women who really believe in this issue, they see it as a matter of justice, they do what the women did when they wanted the right to vote. Organize, protest, write letters to the bishop. Let them know that we're all together. The criticism that we've had now for the past number of years, very little positive leadership. And they were saying in order to really have the leadership, the laity, the priests, and the bishops have to get together. And I don't want to sound too critical, but the bishops go to their meetings, and I don't know how many do, but I know many of them don't. They get the agenda, let's say a week or 2 before. My recommendation, if I spoke to the bishop, and they're good men, it's just that when you get older, it's hard to change. We need to let them know that what we're doing by condemning them, that and same-sex marriage, that 30 became 40 million.
You think people are leaving the church?
We've lost almost all the gay Catholics.
And we have a minute and a half left. Is this the reason, I mean, is that the reason that you're making this an issue now that you're retired, you've 84 years old, served 58 years, you're making this an issue? Why?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's the way the Catholic people feel and relate. And there's very little relationships with our leaders, the bishops. And I would like to say the bishops need to share all that with the priests and find out from them, what do you think about gay marriage? What do you think about homosexuals? We would tell them a different story. Why? Because we've come to know them. They are good people, beautiful people, and they're the ones who suffer the most. They're the ones we're supposed to, as Christians, they're the ones we're supposed to reach out and comfort, encourage, and help them in every way we can.
Father Breen, thank you for coming on. Always very interesting to talk to you. Thank you very much. Father Breen,
Nice to
thank
be
you.
with you.
Yes, sir. Thanks to all of you for watching Issues of Faith. Have a great day, everybody.